Yes, yes, yes. I seen them both. Indeed. The pivot. I am athlete. Let us review as we do. So, Pivot had a five-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, football player. You know what I'm saying? On the panel, and damn, that shit was good. Funny. Um, Talked about, he's an old timer, old head. Spoke on his experience of segregation, his hatred for white people, um, and his love for the game. Talked about he couldn't actually watch today's modern game because it's not the game he knows, so it's different, and he couldn't enjoy it. So one thing that the NFL, I guess, said was, yeah, we can lose those viewers to get the bitches. Right. Um, so the show, cracking jokes, really locker room feel at its height. You know, Crowder and Charles going back and forth. Ashy feet man, you know, talked about he had the mustard on his teeth. Damn, you got mustard on your teeth. Oh, he killed him with that shit. Soundbite. And basically just it was more of a great organic vibe than it was a structured show feel. It was like, hey, um, we just having a conversation. We're gonna throw a couple questions at you. My guy probably suffers from CTE. He was there trailing off, but he's old school though, so not very talkative man if he ain't joking. So it more so is a defense mechanism for him, which kind of says that he might be losing his da, 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 da. I ain't saying he's losing his mind, but he is getting old. Durr. That nigga won, and he saw Clinton and Bush in the White House. Now I remember them motherfuckers, but just barely. They wasn't that long ago. That's in the '90s though. That's a long time, ain't it? The '90s. If you was a man in the '90s, you are old man now. You are an elder statesman right now. If you are if you were a grown ass man in the '90s. So he talked about not seeing interracial couples or um, not seeing people that spoke different languages or didn't speak English in his country town, right? Like, damn, y'all ain't had no Asian food in that motherfucker, man. You telling me you grew your whole life without eating no Chinese food, no sushi? Damn. Like, I probably didn't eat no sushi until I got to. I might have ate some sushi at a buffet a couple times, something like that. I can remember that. But I don't remember when it was though, so it could have been 18 and up. Not seeing anybody who spoke a different language though, he's got to be closed off, and you can probably had a radio and a little TV, but imagine how many channels you had back then. You know, channels you was just outside, my nigga. So definitely can understand why he didn't see no foreign people, and he had that us versus them mentality. He ain't slipping, he ain't sleep, nigga. What? Then he said, "Ain't nothing changed. We just got cameras." He got real passionate about uh, the effect of racism and white supremacy, and what it had done to taint his life experience. Because if you grew up in the South and you was a man in the 90s, my nigga, that means you were born in the 70s, you know? God damn, maybe even the 60s. But you talking about 64 civil rights bill passed, integration happened, man, and you born right after that. It ain't even been a decade yet. I don't know what actual, you know, it's 90. I don't fucking know. 19. I don't know. Anyway, so he grew up when it was a conflict to each between blacks and whites, Negroes at the time, and Caucasians or whites. But he was definitely adamant about the phones, nothing changing, everything being basically as it was. Let me not move the table while I'm okay. All right, let me start over from the beginning. All right, so anyway, wanted to have that conversation about that, but now we get to it. AB. AB baby. AB baby. AB baby. That is a very intelligent man. Very smart. It takes a smart man to see a smart man. Sorry for you dummies. You'll never get it. So, on I Am Athlete, AB goes and has an interview with the collective cast of I Am Athlete, Miami, and LA kind of merging together. It was definitely cool having, Swaggy P in that building, and my old light skinned guy, which he had a crazy head of hair. But I really liked that guy though. He was really intelligent in his discussion on I Am Black segue, or segment to the I Am Athlete podcast. So, we're talking about Black Lives Matter. He really gave a spiel on there that not too many people brought up until, a few years later. He was on top of it. Anyway, um, AB mentioned a whole lot of things. I wrote them down. I'm gonna speak them to you now. You need to calm it down. I know you're excited about this one because I like this. I like this one more than Pivot. This episode, I like it more than Pivot's episode, and that's only because of AB. Pivot had a great show, and I would probably watch it again more than I would watch this one because this one is like I watch it maybe in another year or so. Pivot is like okay, it's back in my feed, and this one's funny as hell. You know what I mean? So, and it's wish it was more than 30 minutes, but it's only 30 minutes, so it's a quick little ha 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 ha. You used to use lard, which was hilarious. All right, so now AB opened up with a biblical quote. I just had a video talking about Kevin Gates thinking he Jesus, and AB starting out with biblical quotes in his interviews. Are the Hebrew Israelites waking up upon us? Are the Hebrews knowing thyself? These and more questions later on in another video. Not this video. So he asked the first thing, because I'm not going to go over what he said verbatim. I'm going to go over the ideas of what he mentioned. So the first idea he mentioned was the OGs, the leadership in the black community. Now, he referenced the NFL as well, which is, majority African Americans. So it's really, as he says that, he's saying elder or old black men are not giving guidance and leadership to younger black men, African American men, Latinos. So it's a great statement to be made and on that platform, because it is a platform for men to speak about things and their experience. And his experience was no leadership and guidance when he touched down and became NFL superstar. So because the NFL is a professional environment, there are men that went from college to the NFL, and you have certain structures inside of each organization. But within that, he's saying that there's no OG leadership that goes on. Now, this is a microcosm of the larger macrocosm, or the larger community as a whole, because you don't have a segment of the population from all the entire nation, and people come together and they act the same. I mean, obviously it's by design, but act the same as far as not giving leadership and being true OGs because they didn't have the example to relate to. So it just continues to happen as people regress instead of progress because of no leadership. So, spoke on that, and I don't want to make this video too long, and it's already climbing up the ranks. Um, he also mentioned unique individual expression, right? We all have our expression on how we express ourselves based on our environment and our observations um, and our feelings, right? So our expression might differ because you feel more strongly for something than I do, or because you have a certain example of how reactions take place because of your, living situation, upbringing, what have you. So he was saying each person's going to have a unique individual expression, and that expression is going to be unique to them. You know what I mean? So you're not going to be able to confine somebody's expression to a uniformed um, expression, right? This is how we act uniformly when something occurs like this. No, there is no uniform expression. There's always only individual, unique expressions. So he made that point. Wanted to mention that. Kaboom, kaboom. We knocking them out now. Side note: Brandon Marshall's just so fucking long-winded, and be more concise. Say the small things quickly. All right, back to it. Fear and the black community and um, what that that means. You know what I mean? As far as your integrity, your actions. You're overcome with this fear, and this fear is consuming you and controlling your actions to see where, what are you going to do, based on, economic fears. Um, where am I going to live? We don't have money for this. That's just broke XYZ, right? Or environmental fears. I can't wear this to school. I can't walk down that, road, or I can't speak to these people. So all these fears, how they play out in our community, and where does the fear pop up? Like, are you afraid to give that unique individual expression? Or are you, is that fear going to conform you to a, uh, you know, expression that could be considered uniform, but it's more, um, it's more of a facade. It's more of a, fake self, the mask, having that going on where you you are not being your exact self. Your identity is being altered by the fear of whatever it is. So you act in a certain way. So he mentioned that. This is a big one, and I thought I was going faster. Drug usage and professional sports. So he's saying they might have something in the drink when get your you get your whatever Gatorade performance enhancing whatever the smoothie. You come to the facility. They might say, "Hey, go ahead and drink this. Get your electrolytes in. Blockle, 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 blockle. We get paid for this. You drink it, right? You see the physician or whatever. He sticks you with some cortisone, whatever the fuck. I don't know. Korean or something like that. It's all Latin to me. And the combination of all of these different um, drugs that is being injected into your body to reduce pain, inflammation, all these things, and heighten, maybe your peak self, your don't mind me, I'm coming down, but I got a plane to catch in the other room there. Out. Zoom back up. Higher. Oh no, 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 no. Okay. Keep on lifting me up. All right, here we go. So great point as far as the drug usage goes, because no one thinks of, now that you got all of this stuff in your system, are you going to have a normal reaction? Even though it's a unique individual expression, what is the reaction going to be? Heightened or diluted because of the medication that you may be on at the time, or drugs? We can just call them drugs. Anyway, if if you're on that and then you're met with a situation like he was, what is? I mean, you have to play football. You got to smack people in the face and hit them and tackle them, get tackled, knowing you're getting tackled, try to get more yards. All of that shit, right? You're not going to take nothing that's going to slow down your motor skills and functions. Anything you're going to take it, probably trying to amplify it. So you on 10. What you mean? I took everything off because I was ready to throw them bows. So that drug usage could have heightened his physical aggression. Integrity versus income. So basically, what he was saying here is that uh, it's my respect as a man comes first before the income, because I have to look at myself in the mirror. I have to know that I'm genuine, the real bona fide article. You know what I'm saying? So, integrity over income. And definitely great point. It brings to mind Steve Harvey when he was talking about, I gotta get mine, so for my family and blah blah blah. What is that? What is that? The best thing I can do for poor people is not be one of them. It's the difference between poor and oppressed. Steve Harvey. Anyway, um, love versus support. This is what he mentioned as well. Um, he was saying that people will give their support if you have supported them. Um, but then they said love. They threw love in there for some reason. And the whole time they was talking about support, and then all of a sudden they threw love in there. And I was like, love ain't got nothing to do with support, right? And supporting, do you want to have a loving community or do you want to have a supporting community? So this is the point. Support is better than love. I don't want your love. I want your support. Just because you love me doesn't mean you're going to support me. So that love over support is it. Um, yeah. So that was it. That was my assessment. Hope I didn't keep y'all that long. And y'all enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed bringing it to your attention. If you didn't, peep the scene. AB, intelligent man. Like, and a lot of people think that you have to speak a certain way to be intelligent. You really just have to uh, be able to speak your thoughts clearly and use words people can understand um, to relay an idea, a thought, you know. So he was doing that. The boy was doing that, no problem, and really show me like how um, I had him all wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was putting him in the dodo bird. He's extinct. Um, nah, he was definitely eye-opening experience, showing that he is intelligent and he speaks like his. He speaks like people from the neighborhood, but his intellect is definitely beyond his neighborhood, if that makes sense. So he might not have the vernacular capacity to break it down like uh, a philosopher or someone who's in academia could break it down, but the idea is the same, and his views and observations are enlightening, and I can see why people are attracted to him that have the same kind of thought processes. Yeah, thought processes. I don't know if that's a word or not. Well, I don't know yet. Well, that's it though.